When a woman pulls away, she never does it by chance. She never does it from one minute to the next. It's not a sudden gesture. It's not a whim. It's not a decision born out of nowhere. Her withdrawal is the final chapter of a story you haven't seen or didn't want to see. And do you know what the first thing a man feels the moment she pulls away? Emptiness. Not a physical emptiness, but a psychological emptiness. An emptiness that weighs on the chest, that tightens the stomach, that accelerates the thoughts. An emptiness that says, I'm losing something I'm not ready to lose. And it's at that precise moment that almost all men make the biggest mistake of their lives. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Man falls when he reacts to what he fears. And when she pulls away, you react to fear. Not to logic, not to love, not to calm, not to presence. You react to panic. And it's panic that destroys you." The male panic cycle. What happens inside you in the first minutes of his distancing? It's always the same, regardless of age, experience, relationship, or context. The brain goes into imminent loss mode. And when the brain perceives a loss, it doesn't reason. It reacts. This is what happens. 1. First stage, disbelief. How is this possible? Everything seemed fine. What did I do? Your emotional system goes haywire. 2. Second stage, compulsive search for explanations. You check messages. You check past chats. You reread the latest conversations. You look for a clue that isn't there. You look for a mistake you can't see. You look for meaning where the meaning isn't immediately apparent. Your brain becomes a centrifuge. 3. Third stage, anxiety. A mild anxiety that becomes severe anxiety. A tightness in the chest, a sense of alarm. I have to do something. And the mistake arises here. 4. Fourth stage, reactive behavior. Messages that are too long. Messages that are too quick. Messages that are too frequent. Messages that are too justified. Unnecessary calls, unsolicited explanations, attempts to clarify, attempts to understand, attempts to fix, attempts that fix nothing, attempts that make everything worse. Epictetus would say, in urgency, man loses himself. And you, in that moment, lose yourself completely. The fatal mistake, chasing. Here it is. The behavior you must avoid above all else. You must not chase, ever. Because chasing sends an unmistakable message. I am afraid. I am dependent. I cling. And nothing dampens female attraction faster than a man who clings. It doesn't matter how strong you were before. It doesn't matter how desired you were before. It doesn't matter how many qualities you had. The moment you chase, you transform into the opposite of the man you were. Because chasing always stems from two emotions, fear and loss of control. And a woman feels both as if they are turned up to the max. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "He who pursues what he flees, flees from himself." And so it is. When you chase, you're not chasing her. You're running away from the emptiness inside you, because chasing pushes her away even further. Many men don't understand this part. They think, if she distances herself, I have to get closer. If she closes herself off, I have to open up more. If she's distant, I have to show her that I care. But the female emotional reality works the other way around. A woman distances herself when she feels emotional pressure. Chasing is pressure. An insistent message is pressure. A request for explanations is pressure. A please let's talk is pressure. I don't understand why you're doing this is pressure. When she distances herself, she does so because she needs emotional space, not to be chased. Epictetus would say, don't take away the space the other person asks for. And if you do that, if you take it away from her, if you try to block her breathing, she runs away even more. The truth men refuse to accept. When she pulls away, it's not the time to fix the relationship. It's not the time to clear everything. It's not the time to talk. It's the time to stop. Stop to look at yourself. Stop to feel what you feel. Stop to avoid giving in to impulse. The Stoic isn't someone who doesn't feel pain. He's someone who knows not to react to pain. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Pain is natural, reaction is choice." A woman observes your reaction more than anything else. If your reaction is fear, she sees you as a burden. If your reaction is panic, she sees you as unstable. If your reaction is pursuit, she sees you as dependent. But if your reaction is calm, she sees you as a man. The behavior you must avoid. Trying to get her back. The behavior to avoid isn't just pursuit. It's anything that stems from the need to regain control of her. Here are the most dangerous attitudes. 1. Explaining too much. "I didn't mean that. Maybe you misunderstood me. I swear, Every explanation perceived as a plea is an emotional bomb. 2. Asking for confirmation. "Are you there? Are you okay? Have you forgotten about me? Do you still want to hear from me?" Every question that reveals neediness lowers your value. 3. Playing the strategic good guy. Sweet messages, sudden attentions, artificial attention. She feels it's not authentic. It's panic. 4. Asking to talk right away. Women hate feeling forced to explain emotions they themselves haven't yet understood. The masculine "let's talk" is a form of emotional control. 5. Promising sudden changes. "From now on, I'll do this. I won't do it again. I promise you." This makes you tameable, disrespected. Epictetus would say, "Don't promise, prove." And proof never comes from reactivity. It comes from consistency. What a woman really wants when she pulls away. What no man accepts. She wants to see who you are when she no longer gives you security. She wants to see if you remain a man. She wants to see if you remain centered. She wants to see if you remain present. She wants to see if you maintain your value. She wants to see if you break down or if you remain whole. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man is measured in moments when no one supports him. When she pulls away, she's not punishing. She's observing. She's watching what you do without her warmth. She's watching if you have a life beyond her. She's watching if you contain yourself. She's watching if you regulate yourself. She's watching if you respect yourself. And your reaction speaks louder than any word you'll say." The Stoic doesn't chase detachment. He walks within it, calmly, with presence, with dignity. The Stoic doesn't run away from tension. He doesn't try to dissolve it. He contains it. He breathes. He observes. She sits in silence. The woman sees this calm and respects it, because respect comes from psychological strength, not emotional need. When a woman distances herself, most men only experience the surface of the situation. They see the external signs, shorter messages, slower responses, less enthusiasm, less initiative, less presence. But inside her, behind every silent gesture, a much more complex mechanism is at work. A mechanism that has nothing to do with what you've done in the last week, nor with a wrong sentence, nor with a sudden mistake. A woman distances herself not when she stops hearing from you, but when she stops feeling good with you. The difference is enormous. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not judge the actions, but the causes." The cause of her distance is never the external gesture. It is always an internal balance that has shifted. 1. The first stage, the decline in emotional arousal. Women don't distance themselves when they feel nothing. They distance themselves when they feel less. Female emotions are not linear. They are oscillations. Passion is a wave. Attraction is a wave. Desire is a wave. When that wave subsides, a woman doesn't hate you, she doesn't despise you, she doesn't decide to walk away. She's trying to understand what's happening to her. Female emotions need space to be felt, and space, for a woman, doesn't mean physically distancing herself. It means calming her internal world. And how does she calm it? By creating distance. Epictetus would say, emotions grow in silence, and she needs that silence to understand what she really feels. 2. The second stage, evaluation. This is the most important step, the one almost no man knows. When a woman pulls away, she's not running away from you. She's evaluating you. She observes you from afar, lucidly, coldly, unemotionally. She doesn't look at what you do. She looks at how you react to her withdrawal, because the reaction reveals the man, the person, the strength, the stability, the centeredness, the dignity. Women observe. Do you get agitated? Do you seek? Do you chase? Do you beg? Do you get scared? Do you panic? Do you seek reassurance? Are you losing your rhythm of life? Are you canceling yourself just to get her back? This is essential information for a woman, because she's not evaluating your love. She's evaluating your psychological strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The test of a man is not when others are with him, but when they leave him." She leaves you for a moment to see who remains. 3. The third stage, the search for consistency. A woman notices everything, not on a rational level, but on a perceptive level. When she distances herself, she's testing the consistency between what you say, what you do, what you are. If you say you're confident, but react with panic, she perceives you as inconsistent. If you say you're independent, but as soon as she takes your attention away from you, you collapse, she perceives you as inconsistent. If you say you're not needy, but you pursue her, she perceives you as inconsistent. A woman doesn't want a perfect man. She wants a consistent man. Epictetus would say, "Virtue is doing what you say." And when your actions don't reflect your words, attraction dies. 4. The fourth stage, the fundamental question. Every woman, when she distances herself, asks herself a specific question. Is this man stable or dependent? She must feel protected, not caged, supported, not suffocated, desired, not dragged along. So observe, do you keep your calm? Do you maintain your goals? Do you maintain your life? Do you maintain your pace? Or do you get anxious? Do you lose focus? Do you put yourself on standby for her? Do you lose yourself? The answer decides everything. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The man who stands on his own 2 feet fears no loss." If your identity crumbles because she distances herself, you send her a devastating message. You are greater than me. And a man who sees a woman greater than himself automatically loses his masculine energy. 5. The fifth stage, emotional memory. When a woman pulls away, she doesn't just look at what you're doing right now. She's recalling everything she's experienced so far. Moments when you were confident, moments when you were unstable, moments when you were in control, moments when you overreacted, moments when you were centered, moments when you lost your way. Female emotional memory doesn't forget. It connects dots. It connects signals. It analyzes patterns. Based on this, it decides whether your relationship still has a solid structure or whether the structure has collapsed. Epictetus would say, "The soul remembers what strikes it, and a woman never forgets the loss of your axis." 6. The sixth stage, the energetic decision. Before a woman makes a concrete decision, she makes an energetic decision. This decision is silent, internal, deep, and she won't communicate it to you right away. The energetic decision is one of these 3. A. I'm staying. If your calm reassures her, if your centeredness attracts her, if your dignity respects her, if your solidity reassures her. B. I distance myself further. If your panic suffocates her, if your insecurity weighs her down, if your fear destabilizes her, if your reactivity emotionally drains her. C. I wait. The most common decision. Wait to see if you are reborn, collapse, or rebuild. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Time reveals every character." She uses detachment as a lens to see who you really are when you're not trying to impress her. 7. The seventh stage, the emotional return, if you've earned it. Many men believe a woman comes back because she's understood something thanks to him. No, she comes back because thanks to your behavior, she feels safe again. Female security isn't logical, it's energetic. A woman comes back when she feels she doesn't have to run the relationship, that she doesn't have to contain your emotions, that she doesn't have to worry about your well-being. She comes back when she feels that the man in front of her has a center, a direction, a calm, a structure. Epictetus would say, "What is stable naturally attracts." A woman never returns to an unstable man. She returns to the man who didn't lose himself when he risked losing her. The harshest truth of all, when a woman pulls away, she's not testing your love. She's testing your strength. She loves your love, but she chooses your strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Love what is worthy of being loved. Become worthy." You don't have to convince her. You don't have to chase her. You don't have to explain anything to her. You don't have to prove anything. You just have to prove this, that you remain a man, even if she pulls away. This is what brings her back. This is what makes her reevaluate everything. This is what makes her look at you again with respect, with desire, with presence. There are obvious mistakes, and then there are silent mistakes. There are mistakes you feel you're making, and others you make without realizing it. But among all the mistakes a man makes when a woman pulls away, there's one that weighs more than the others, because it immediately changes the way she perceives you, turning her withdrawal into a personal threat. Many men don't say it out loud. They don't send angry texts. They don't make a scene. They don't admit they're hurt. Yet, a dangerous emotional process is activated within them. Her detachment becomes experienced as an attack, as if she's punishing, as if she's challenging, as if she's controlling, as if she wants to hurt you. In reality, in most cases, she's doing none of these things. She's simply listening to herself. She's making space. She's breathing. She's seeking clarity. She's evaluating. She's observing. But you interpret her movement as an affront to your value. And from this interpretation arises the self-destructive behavior that extinguishes attraction faster than anything else: resentment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It's not what happens to you that hurts you, but the idea you make of what happens." A woman's withdrawal is not a threat. It becomes a threat when you experience it as such. 1. A man who feels threatened loses his own direction. The masculine is direction. It is axis. It is structure. It is calm. It is orientation. When you experience his withdrawal as a threat, you immediately lose these 4 qualities. You lose calm. You lose clarity. You lose dignity. You lose centeredness. And the masculine energy dissolves. Epictetus would say, "You can't lead anything if you don't know how to lead yourself." When you feel threatened, you no longer lead yourself. You no longer lead the relationship. You no longer lead the rhythm. You no longer lead your thoughts. You no longer lead your emotions. You feel vulnerable and lose your bearings. And a woman senses immediately when a man loses himself. 2. Withdrawal is not an attack. It's a signal. For a woman, withdrawing is not about punishing, manipulating, or testing. It's about feeling. It's what they do when they have to listen: an emotional shift, an intuition, an inner sense, a doubt, a fear, a lack, a question. A woman's detachment isn't an attack. It's a diagnosis. She's trying to understand if what she feels is fleeting or profound. You must let that process happen without interfering, without getting involved, without trying to control it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Let what is natural take its course." Female distancing is natural. Your invasiveness, your anxiety, your reaction are not. 3. The man who experiences detachment as a threat goes into fight or flight mode. It's instinct. It's biology. It's ancestral programming. When you feel an emotional threat, the body goes into alarm. Tension, shortness of breath, anxiety, racing thoughts, a search for control. In this state, you no longer communicate like a man. You communicate like a frightened animal. And everything you communicate is perceived by the woman as pressure, need, instability, insecurity, misalignment. Epictetus would say, "You've already lost if you let yourself be dominated by your first reactions." Many men ruin everything in the first 24 hours of her withdrawal because they react instead of understanding. 4. How a woman reacts to a man who feels threatened. When a woman senses that her detachment has shaken a man, she doesn't approach him. She doesn't console him. She doesn't reassure him. She distances herself even further. Because a woman doesn't distance herself to see if you love her. She distances herself to see if you're stable. And if your behavior communicates, you've destabilized me. She senses 3 specific things. A. Emotional danger. If I move, he collapses. B. Latent pressure. I feel he wants something from me. C. Loss of polarity. This isn't masculine. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Showing neediness is showing weakness." It's brutal, but that's how female perception works. 5. The true meaning of female distancing. It's not an attack, it's not a threat, it's not an insult, it's not a declaration of worthlessness. It's a question. Silent, immense, decisive. What do you do when I don't give you security? A woman doesn't want a man who collapses when she doesn't support him. She wants a man who stays, who remains himself, who remains firm, who remains stable, who stays on the path. She wants to see if you can sustain your life even when she doesn't support it. Epictetus would say, "No one is free if they depend on someone else for peace of mind." Female distancing reveals your freedom or your dependence. 6. Stoic behavior. Don't interpret, don't react, don't personalize. The Stoic doesn't feel threatened by the movements of others. He doesn't interpret, he doesn't anticipate, he doesn't dramatize. He observes, he evaluates, he stays calm because he understands that no one can take away what depends on you, and what depends on you is your value, your strength, your discipline, your presence, your direction, your integrity. When a woman pulls away, a Stoic thinks, "My job now is to maintain the axis." Marcus Aurelius would say, "The world can move, you stand firm." This is philosophy, this is psychology, this is strength. 7. The behavior to avoid above all else. The worst behavior you can have is to turn her detachment into a judgment on you. When you think, if she pulls away, it means I'm worthless. If she pulls away, it means I've made a mistake. If she pulls away, it means I need to correct something. If she pulls away, it means I'm inferior. Make her bigger than you, more important than you, more powerful than you. And no woman wants to be bigger than the man she loves, because that's not her role. That's not her energy. That's not what makes her feel secure. Epictetus would say, "Don't give others power over your serenity." When you experience her withdrawal as a threat, you give her power. When you don't experience it as a threat, you take back your throne. 8. How everything changes when you stop feeling threatened. When a woman distances herself and you don't react, something inside her changes. Because what a woman fears most is a man who collapses. But what strikes her most is a man who remains centered even in the storm. Women observe 3 things. 1. If you are able to self-regulate. The true masculine doesn't implode. 2. If you know how to stay present without being intrusive. It's a very high form of strength. 3. If you keep your life active even without her presence. This makes you desirable. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The man who remains whole loses nothing." When you don't lose yourself, you don't lose her. In fact, it's you who becomes desirable again. A woman never suddenly distances herself. There's no such thing as a sudden detachment. There are only signals that men haven't seen, haven't understood, or haven't wanted to understand. Because the truth is this: a woman always communicates. Always. Even when she doesn't speak. Even when she says, "Everything's fine." Even when she doesn't seem different. A woman communicates with her tone, with her gaze, with micro-expressions, with distance, with silences, with energy. And men almost always don't read these signals until it's too late. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Reality always speaks, but you must learn to listen to it." And in the female world, reality speaks softly, and it speaks early. This section is dedicated to the silent signals that show a woman is distancing herself, even before you realize it. Signals that, if read in time, can save everything, and if ignored, they lead to the end. 1. The first signal: change in intensity, not behavior. A woman doesn't suddenly change her behavior. She doesn't suddenly stop texting. She doesn't suddenly stop replying. She doesn't suddenly stop reaching out to you. First, the intensity changes, and this is the most subtle signal because it doesn't raise immediate alarm. What's actually happening? First, she replies within 2 minutes, then 10, then 30. First, she writes long messages, then short, then terse. First, she asks questions, then only answers, then monosyllables. She doesn't stop. She simply decreases. The decrease is the first distance. It's the dress rehearsal of distancing. Epictetus would say, small variations announce big changes. A woman who decreases is already leaving. 2. The second signal: the reduction of emotional involvement. It's not the frequency that betrays her, but the depth. A woman who is involved talks about emotions, desires, fears, dreams, intuitions, intimate moments. A woman who is distancing herself only talks about facts, schedules, practical things. The content becomes flat, colorless, soulless, and men often confuse this signal. They think, she's just tired, she's just busy, it's just a phase. No, it's an emotional withdrawal. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What is no longer animated is already abandoning." When the depths are emptied, the distance has already begun. 3. The third sign: your presence no longer moves her. A woman in love comes alive. She lights up, her eyes change, her voice warms, her energy opens up. It's not a cliché, it's emotional biology. When a woman moves away, she no longer reacts to you in the same way. She doesn't light up, she doesn't change tone, she doesn't come closer, she doesn't smile the same way, she doesn't look at you the same way. It's not indifference, it's emotional anesthesia. The woman doesn't stop feeling. She stops feeling you in the same way. Epictetus would say, don't lose what makes the other's soul vibrate. When your presence no longer vibrates within her, the distance is already written. 4. The fourth sign: she stops seeking reassurance. A woman who is involved asks, are you there? Are you thinking about me? How are we? Do you miss me? What are you thinking about? A woman who distances herself no longer asks for anything. And this is where many men get it all wrong. They think this is a positive sign. They think, finally, she's not anxious anymore. She's calmer now. She's becoming more independent. The truth is quite different. When a woman no longer seeks reassurance, she no longer seeks a future. Marcus Aurelius wrote, what you no longer strive for is what you've already left behind. When she stops seeking you in conversations, she's already started to let you go. 5. The fifth sign: the change in spontaneity. The woman who is present, who feels emotion, who feels attraction, who experiences connection, is spontaneous. She writes for no reason. She sends you a photo without thinking. She sends you a thought in the middle of the day. She tells you a useless detail. She laughs more easily. She opens up. She shares. She speaks. When a woman distances herself, spontaneity fades. Everything becomes more controlled, more measured, more distant. She no longer seeks moments with you. She simply responds. Epictetus would say, where there is no freedom, there is no feeling. Spontaneity is the purest measure of interest. When it fades even more. 6. The sixth signal: the micro-withdrawal of the body. The body speaks too, even when you don't want to see, even when you tell yourself everything is normal. The physical signs of distancing are subtle. She sits further away. She crosses her arms more often. She looks away. Her body no longer points toward you. She stiffens when you touch her. She laughs less. She avoids certain types of spontaneous contact. She gets distracted more easily. These are not generic signals. They are data, indicators, bodily messages. The body never lies. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The body reveals what the mouth keeps silent. When the body withdraws, the mind has already done so long ago." 7. The seventh sign. Her energy is no longer synchronized with yours. Humans aren't attracted by logic, they are attracted by energy. When a woman is attracted, her energy follows yours. It aligns, it approaches, it synchronizes, it vibrates to the same rhythm. Even from a distance, you can feel the connection between you. When a woman moves away, you feel something different. A cold, detached, light, distant energy, as if you are no longer on the same level. Many men sense this but ignore the signal because it hurts too much to acknowledge. Epictetus would say, "What you don't recognize dominates you." If you don't recognize the energetic distance, it will tear you apart because it will make you react in the wrong way. 8. The eighth sign. She stops building the future. A woman who is involved speaks forward. When will we go? When will we change? When will there be? It's natural. It's her emotional language. When she walks away, the future disappears. She speaks only in the present. Or worse, she speaks in the past. She no longer uses we. She no longer uses plans. She no longer uses visions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Abandoning the future is already a choice." When the future is no longer there, she is already halfway to the exit. 9. The ninth sign. The appearance of neutral. Neutral is the real enemy. Anger is better than neutral. Frustration is better than neutral. Even criticism is better than neutral. Because neutral means only one thing. She no longer feels. Neutral is flat response, cold tone, zero emotion, zero reactivity, zero warmth, zero intensity. It's not hate, it's not love, it's emptiness. And emptiness is the worst sign. Epictetus would say, "What is empty is already lost." If a woman has become neutral, you are already in the red zone. 10. The final, most painful sign. She no longer notices your absences. When a woman is involved, she notices everything. When you are there, when you are not there, when you write, when you don't write, when you are present, when you are distant. When a woman is distancing herself, the opposite happens. She no longer notices when you are missing, because she has stopped looking for you. She has stopped waiting for you. She has stopped looking at you. She stopped hearing from you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Don't be afraid of those who look at you. Instead, be aware of those who stop looking at you." When a woman no longer notices your absence, she's already started living without you in her mind. When a woman pulls away, men always look for a simple reason. Linear, easy to digest, easy to blame. Something like, she's stressed, she's confused, she needs time. Maybe it's her face, maybe it's my fault, maybe it's her fault. No, none of these things are the real reason. Women don't pull away by chance. They don't pull away out of boredom. They don't pull away to test you. They don't pull away out of malice. They pull away because of emotional imbalance, not a lack of love. And this is the point no man wants to accept. A woman pulls away when she no longer feels good around you. It's not a question of love. It's not a question of intentions. It's not a question of commitment. It's a matter of how she feels inside. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Man seeks the causes outside, but the origins are within." The real reason is always internal. 1. She doesn't distance herself from you. She distances herself from how she feels with you. A woman can truly love you and at the same time distance herself from you. It seems like a paradox, but it's the female psychological reality. Because for a woman, love isn't enough. A woman can love a man, but stop feeling serene, reassured, respected, protected, seen, listened to, connected, desired. When this balance is broken, she distances herself, not from your affection, but from the way you make her experience emotions. Epictetus would say, "What disturbs the soul is what one distances oneself from." She's not leaving you, she's protecting herself. 2. A woman distances herself when she feels burdened, not when she feels missing. Men believe that women run away because something is missing, but the truth is harsher. Women don't run away from emptiness. They run away from burden. Weight can take many forms: emotional weight, mental weight, psychological weight, energetic weight, behavioral weight, reactive weight, anxious weight. Weight is when she has to reassure you, manage your insecurities, calm you, regulate your emotions, predict your reactions, support the relationship. Women sense when you need her more than she needs you, and this consumes her. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not ask the other what you need to find within yourself." And when a man asks a woman what she should find within, she shuts down. 3. She distances herself when she feels you are losing yourself. A woman immediately perceives when a man stops being a universe and becomes a satellite around her. The masculine is movement, direction, mission, structure, rhythm, presence. When you lose these elements, something serious happens. She stops feeling attracted and starts feeling superior. And a woman doesn't want to feel superior to her man. It doesn't give her security. It doesn't give her peace. It doesn't give her polarity. Epictetus would say, "He who abandons himself loses value." A woman doesn't distance herself from the man she loves. She distances herself from the man she no longer recognizes. 4. She distances herself when she feels you're too reactive. Male reactivity is poison to attraction, because it sends a clear signal: I don't control myself, you control me. And a woman doesn't want to have this power. Reactivity can be excessive jealousy anxiety when she distances herself, compulsive search for confirmation irritation if she doesn't respond, need for immediate attention, emotional surveillance, fear of losing her desire for control. Reactivity says, I'm afraid. You are my balance. If you distance myself, I'll collapse. And a woman doesn't want a man who collapses. She wants a man who holds on. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Remain firmly grounded in what you must be, not in what you fear losing." Your reactivity is what she fears losing. That's why she distances herself. 5. She pulls away when she feels you're no longer winning her over. Most men make a terrible mistake. They stop courting after they've won the woman. But for a woman, attraction requires constant nourishment. Not emotional nourishment, not messages, not attention, but mystery, depth, direction, ambition, masculine presence, calm, personal power, self-discipline. You don't have to win her over. You have to win yourself over every day. Because a woman doesn't fall in love with a man who puts her at the center of his life, but with a man who puts his mission at the center, and she's attracted to him. Epictetus would say, "The man who improves himself never ceases to be chosen." When you stop growing, she stops following you. 6. She pulls away when she no longer feels polarity. Attraction isn't logical. It's magnetic. It's polarity. A woman approaches the man who is at her masculine pole, and she distances herself from the man who slips into the feminine pole. The male pole means calm, direction, stability, structure, discipline, presence, determination, emotional containment. The female pole means chaos, indecision, insecurity, reactivity, dependence, neediness, excess emotion, unmanaged fragility. A woman cannot be attracted to a man who behaves like her. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nature does not mix roles. Recognize yours and live according to it. When you lose polarity, you lose her." 7. She distances herself when she no longer feels your presence. Male presence is not being physically there. It is something much deeper. A stable gaze, a calm voice, solid energy, centered posture, slow thinking, inner security. Presence is vibration. A woman can sense it from meters away. When a man loses presence because he is anxious, insecure, confused, or too absorbed in her, the woman feels a void. She feels instability. She feels chaos, and chaos pushes her away. Epictetus would say, "If you do not live yourself, no one will live with you. When you are not present to yourself, she can no longer feel present beside you. 8. The reason that hurts the most. She distances herself when she feels you are no longer a man she can admire. Don't admire in the sense of idolatry. Admire in the most natural and feminine sense. Profound respect for the man you are. A woman can be attracted to a weak man. She can be emotionally attached to an unstable man. She can be in love with a confused man. But she can never stay where she can no longer admire. If she doesn't admire, she doesn't follow. If she doesn't follow, she detaches herself. If she detaches herself, she distances herself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Honor yourself and you will be honored." If she no longer admires you, it means you have stopped honoring yourself. The definitive, brutal, and liberating truth. A woman doesn't distance herself because you don't love her enough. She distances herself because you don't love yourself enough to be stable. She doesn't distance herself because you haven't given. She distances herself because you've given and lost yourself. She doesn't distance herself because you haven't been present. She distances herself because you've been present in the wrong way. Anxious, reactive, dependent, self-centered, needy. She doesn't distance herself from you. She distances herself from the version of yourself you've begun to show. Epictetus would say, "Regain control of yourself, and nothing will abandon you." The good news? If you change, everything changes. When a woman creates distance, when she drains energy, when she reduces intensity, when she disappears emotionally, there's only one correct response. Only one. The most difficult to implement, the most counterintuitive, the most painful, the most powerful. A response that almost no man achieves, because the reactive male nature pushes in the opposite direction. The correct response is not to talk. It's not to ask. It's not to clarify. It's not to explain. It's not to seek. It's not to try to fix her. It's not to try to bring her back. The correct response is, respect her space and remain a man while she distances herself. It's not resignation. It's not indifference. It's not weakness. It's not a psychological game. It's emotional leadership. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be like the rock against which the waves break and which remains motionless." And this is what the woman wants to see. Whether during her withdrawal you remain a rock or become a wave. 1. Because respecting her space is the most powerful response. When a woman distances herself, two energies can come into play. Expansion, contraction. Expansion is masculine. Contraction is anxious. He who expands contains. He who contracts begs. Respecting her space means choosing expansion, because it transmits three powerful messages. A. I am not afraid. A man without fear is irresistible. B. I can handle the tension. Few men can do this, and those who can are perceived as superior. C. My life does not stop. And this is the highest form of attraction. Epictetus would say, what you can handle makes you greater. Keeping your distance makes you great in the eyes of a woman. 2. The space she creates isn't against you. It's for herself. Men always interpret female space as rejection, punishment, boredom, loss of interest, lack of love. No. Female space is an emotional regulation mechanism. It serves her. It's not meant to hurt you. A woman who pulls away isn't saying, I don't want you. She's saying, I have to listen to myself. I have to breathe. I have to understand what I feel. If you react as if it were an attack, you don't respect her process. And if you don't respect her process, she can't respect you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, respect the natural course of things. Her space is natural. Your anxiety isn't. 3. Most men ruin everything because they can't stand being in a vacuum. Emotional emptiness is what scares men more than detachment itself, because in a vacuum there are no guarantees. There are no confirmations. There is no control. There is no security. Men have a terrible time resisting emptiness. Here's why. They write too much. They write too quickly. They write badly. They ask for explanations. They ask for confirmation. They seek forced dialogue. They become insistent. They become burdensome. They become emotionally reactive. They become what the woman doesn't want. The truth is cruel. It's not her who leaves you. It's you who leaves yourself alone. Epictetus would say, "He who cannot bear emptiness cannot bear himself." The feminine space puts the man before himself, and many collapse. 4. The Stoic, on the other hand, inhabits emptiness, and for this reason he is irresistible. Emptiness, for a Stoic, is not a threat. It is fertile ground, because it allows him to breathe, reflect, recalibrate, regain centeredness, return to his role, strengthen his energy, rediscover his mission. When a woman distances himself, the Stoic doesn't chase. He doesn't beg. He doesn't look for answers. He welcomes. He observes. He recomposes himself. He refocuses himself. He reconnects with himself. He returns to his senses. Marcus Aurelius would say, "In the pause, it is the man who builds himself." The Stoic uses detachment to become a man again, and the woman senses it. 5. The correct response to space is create space within yourself. It's not enough not to write. It's not enough not to search. It's not enough not to chase. The real answer is internal. You must create space within yourself. It means don't suffocate yourself with obsessive thoughts. Don't try to control the outcome. Don't lean on her emotionally. Don't measure your value by her attention. Don't lose your identity. It means breathing, letting emotions flow, containing mental tension, sitting in silence. Epictetus would say, "What you can contain inside will not destroy you outside." He who can be with himself while she moves away becomes a man a woman can respect. 6. The biggest mistake, filling the space she creates. Men hate space. They experience it as a hole that needs to be plugged, a chasm that needs to be filled, a void that needs to be filled immediately. And how do they fill it? Impulsive messages, unexpected calls, long speeches, attempts to clarify, attempts to convince, attempts to explain, useless excuses, words spoken out of fear, not truth. But filling space is like taking away the air from someone trying to breathe. Space shouldn't be filled. It should be respected. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What the other person requests with silence, grant it to them." Space is a request, not a condemnation. 7. What happens inside her when you respect her space? When you don't chase, don't collapse, don't beg, don't get upset, don't react, but remain steadfast. 3 very powerful processes occur inside her. A. Her anxiety decreases. Your non-pressuring allows her to breathe. She calms down. She repositions her emotions. She regains balance. B. She observes you with new eyes. When a man maintains his distance, the woman sees strength. She sees solidity. She sees self-regulation. She sees masculinity. And these elements reactivate the attraction. C. She returns spontaneously because she feels free again. And a woman who feels free can feel you again. Marcus Aurelius would say, "What you don't force comes back." The spontaneous return it is the true confirmation of your strength. 8. The golden rule of female space. Remember this. You don't have to push yourself into her space. You have to expand yours. Your focus must be discipline training work, mission, personal growth, social life, projects, creativity, inner strength. You don't have to prove anything to her by taking her. You have to prove everything by staying there. Epictetus would say, "He who possesses himself asks for nothing." When a woman sees a man who doesn't lose his center during detachment, her perception changes completely. She sees him as a man, not as an emotional child. 9. The final truth. Space is not the end. It's a gateway. Detachment is a psychological portal. It can lead to a breakup, a return to the rebirth of the relationship, your personal rebirth, the end of chaos and the beginning of solidity. It depends on what you do. A woman doesn't distance herself to go away. She distances herself to see if you stay. Marcus Aurelius would say, Remain what you must be, and everything will take its shape. If you stay centered, she returns. If you lose yourself, she disappears. Her withdrawal doesn't decide anything. You decide the outcome with your reaction. When a woman pulls away, there's a male behavior that destroys attraction more than all the others put together, more than chasing, more than jealousy, more than explanations, more than emotional speeches, more than compulsive apologies. The behavior that kills everything is this: seeking reassurance. It's one of the most invisible signs of male weakness. It's one of the strongest signs of emotional dependence. It's one of the quickest ways to make her lose respect, because seeking reassurance sends a devastating message. I'm not enough for myself. I need you to feel good. I need you to tell me everything's okay. I can't stand alone. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Don't ask the other for what you need to reassure yourself." And the woman perceives this behavior as a psychological alarm. Let's look at it in depth. 1. The hidden mechanism of reassurance. You're not looking for her. You're looking for relief. When a woman pulls away, your emotional system goes into overdrive. An internal dialogue full of doubts begins. What's going on? Why is she colder? Why is she less responsive? Why is she distant? Did I do something? Is she losing interest? Is she bored? These thoughts create anxiety, and anxiety seeks relief. Reassurance becomes an emotional painkiller. You're not looking for her. You're seeking your peace through her. Epictetus would say, "A restless soul seeks support. A strong soul stands firm." Reassurance is support, and those who seek support never appear strong. 2. How the search for reassurance appears to women. A woman may not understand everything you feel. She may not know what you're thinking. She may not intuit your fears. But she sees one thing with absolute precision: when you seek reassurance. Because whether you say it or not, you convey it. Reassurance means asking, "Are you there?" Asking, "Is everything okay?" Asking, "Have you changed your mind about us?" Asking, "Are you distant? Why?" Asking, "Am I losing you?" Asking, "Can we talk?" Asking, "Do you miss me?" Asking, "What are you thinking?" But also anxious tone, writing too much, writing, soon writing long words, replying instantly, holding your phone in your hand, checking if he's online, checking his social media. Useless worry about silence. For her, it's clear. And what she sees is insecurity, fragility, instability, dependence, fear pressure. And nothing dampens attraction more than male fear. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What you show, you become." If you show fear, you become inferior in his perception. 3. Because male reassurance destroys polarity. Polarity is the natural magnetism between male and female energy. The male attracts when it is stable, is firm, is calm, is emotionally independent, is directed, maintains the axis, contains its own internal world. Reassurance does the opposite, because she says, "I can't stand it. I need you to find peace. Give me the stability I lack." This is feminine energy, not masculine. A woman cannot follow a man who surrenders her stability into her hands. Epictetus would say, "If you leave your calm to others, you have nothing left." When you seek reassurance, you give her your calm, and you lose everything. 4. Reassurance means you have power over my emotions. No woman wants this power. It's too much weight, too much responsibility, too much pressure. When a woman feels she has power over your emotions, something inevitable happens. She loses attraction, she loses respect, she loses trust, she loses polarity, she loses calm. Because she perceives your emotional world as unstable and reactive. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "He who depends on others for his peace lives in chains." A woman doesn't want to chain you, but she also doesn't want you to chain yourself to her. 5. The compulsive search for reassurance stems from an ancient wound. This part is fundamental. Men don't seek reassurance because they love too much. They seek it because they're afraid. Fear of not being enough, not being chosen, losing someone, being abandoned, being replaced, not being worthy. reliving a past trauma. Reassurance is a band-aid, not a cure, and women feel this wound. They sense it, they recognize it, they see it. The question they ask is, can I trust a man who can't stand so much? Epictetus would say, first take care of yourself, then others will follow. And he was right. 6. Because men seek reassurance precisely when they should remain silent. Because female detachment reactivates the primary male fear, the loss of value. Men, on a symbolic level, see their own identity reflected in the woman who chooses them. When she distances herself, the male brain interprets, I'm losing value, I'm making a mistake, I'm no longer enough. And then he tries to regain value through her. Tell me everything's okay. Tell me I'm not making a mistake. Tell me you're still here. But asking for value makes you less valuable. Marcus Aurelius wrote, don't beg for what you have to embody. Reassurance is emotional begging, and men don't notice. 7. The cruel paradox of female psychology. The more reassurance you ask for, the less reassurance you get. The more you seek confirmation, the less confirmation you get. The more you seek presence, the more distance you get. Because a woman can't reassure you when your request stems from fear. Her reassurance doesn't resolve, it nourishes. And she doesn't want to nourish a weak man. She wants to observe a man who finds his strength within, not without. Epictetus would say, no one can give another the peace he doesn't possess within himself. This is why reassurance never works. 8. How the Stoic deals with the need for reassurance. The Stoic is not a man without emotions. He is a man who governs his emotions. When he feels fear rising, he doesn't run outward. He runs inward. He does 3 things. A. He recognizes the need. He observes it without judgment. He knows it comes from the wound, not from reality. B. He contains the impulse. He doesn't write, he doesn't call, he doesn't ask, he doesn't look for proof. He holds his ground. C. He refocuses his energy. He breathes, he trains, he works, he creates. He returns to the mission. He returns to life. Marcus Aurelius would say, retreat within yourself. Within man lies the source of good. The Stoic finds reassurance in his own strength, not in the woman. 9. The answer that saves everything. Don't seek reassurance, become reassuring. The woman doesn't want to reassure you. She wants to feel reassured by you. She wants a man who doesn't collapse, a man who has a solid foundation, a man who knows what to do, a man who stays calm, a man who doesn't need her approval, a man who stands on his own 2 feet, a man who isn't afraid of being separated. When you don't ask for reassurance, but are the reassurance she perceives. Stability, security, solidity, value, masculinity. And this reactivates the polarity. 10. The final truth of the section. Reassurance is poison. Calm is the antidote. When a woman distances herself, you shouldn't ask, tell me everything's okay. You have to become the man for whom everything is okay, even if she's distant. Marcus Aurelius would say, become so strong that you don't need what you fear losing. And when you become that man, detachment stops being a threat and becomes a testimony to your strength. When a woman enters silence, she's not yelling, she's not arguing, she's not accusing, she's not asking for anything. She's simply keeping quiet. Yet for men, this silence immediately becomes a red alert, an internal siren, a growing tension, a psychological emergency. For men, female silence is like a dark room where they can't see anything and where their minds begin to project their worst fears. It's not the silence that hurts. It's the interpretation you give it. And here lies the destructive trap, turning her silence into an emergency that needs to be resolved immediately. Marcus Aurelius wrote, man suffers more from imagination than from reality, and female silence is the perfect breeding ground for the male imagination to spiral out of control. 1. Why men experience silence as a threat. Men are biologically programmed to intervene when they perceive a problem. They see the silence and think, there's a problem that needs to be solved. There's a risk that needs to be avoided. There's a threat that needs to be stopped. There's something I need to do. But the truth is brutal and simple. A woman's silence isn't a problem. It's a process. She is silent too. Think, calm down, rebalance, feel what she feels, find her center, avoid impulsive arguments, protect the relationship, protect herself. Silence is an emotional space, not an attack. Epictetus would say, don't run where there's no fire, and you instead see it burning everywhere. 2. The emergency you create, not her. The trap is this: you create the emergency. She doesn't. Because female silence doesn't arise out of urgency. It arises out of necessity. It's a need, not a threat. The emergency arises within you when your mind overflows. She's changing her mind about us. Maybe she doesn't want me anymore. Maybe she's found someone else. Maybe I disappointed her. Maybe she's angry. Maybe it's over. And this internal storm generates destructive behaviors. Marcus Aurelius would say, don't add anxiety to things, but men add anxiety where there is only silence. 3. Silence doesn't require intervention. It requires containment. This is one of the hardest lessons a man can learn. Not everything you hear requires an immediate response. Female silence shouldn't be filled. It shouldn't be interpreted. It shouldn't be resolved. It shouldn't be addressed immediately. It should be contained. Male strength isn't expressed by intervening, but by holding back the urge to intervene. Epictetus would say, the first victory is over yourself, and this victory is played out in moments of silence. 4. How men make everything worse by turning silence into panic. When you experience her silence as an emergency, you start to check your phone, check if she's online, reread her latest messages, build scenarios in your mind. Text her too much, text her badly, text her with anxious energy. Ask for explanations, seek reassurance, hypothesize dramas, attempt immediate clarifications, explode or implode. And every behavior further shuts down the connection. Marcus Aurelius would say, agitation is a sign of weakness. Your panic speaks louder than any word. 5. The psychological truth. A woman feels your energy, not your messages. This is why many men fail, because they believe it's the content of the message that makes the difference. It's not. It's the energy behind the message that speaks. A "How are you?" with anxious energy sounds like, "Tell me everything's okay or I'll collapse." "Are you okay?" written in panic sounds like, "I need you." A "Let me know" written out of fear sounds like, "I can't handle the uncertainty." A woman reads the energy, not the text. Epictetus would say, intention is the soul of action. Your words don't matter. Your intentions masked by fear do. 6. Women don't fear silence. Men do. Women are accustomed to emotional silence. It's part of their way of processing emotions. It's natural. It's physiological. Silence for her is like a room where she retreats to sort out her internal world. Men, on the other hand, experience silence as a loss of control. And here the reverse polarity arises. Men become emotional. Women become rational. It's disastrous for the couple's dynamic. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not fear what is natural. Female silence is natural. Your fear is not." 7. When you experience her silence as an emergency, you become a responsibility for her, and this is what definitively pushes her away. Because if a woman, in her moment of introspection, must also manage your anxiety, calm your fears, reassure you, prevent you from reacting badly, moderate your emotions, then you are no longer a partner. You are a burden. You are an emotional child. You are a man who cannot contain himself. And a woman cannot be in a maternal role with a man. It is the quickest way to lose respect. Epictetus would say, "No one likes what is heavy. If you are heavy with emotions, she runs away." 8. When you don't transform silence into an emergency, the dynamic changes completely. This is where the strength of the Stoic comes into play. A Stoic does not react to silence. He does not interpret it as an attack. He does not experience it as a problem. He does not consider it a loss. He recognizes it for what it is, a space. And spaces aren't filled, they're respected. When you don't react, she calms down. She doesn't feel pressured, she doesn't feel obligated. She doesn't feel suffocated. She doesn't feel observed. She feels freedom, she feels respect. She feels maturity, she feels strength. And her energy slowly begins to return to you. Marcus Aurelius would say, "Calm is more powerful than strength." And it's true. Calm brings people closer. Reactivity pushes them away. 9. The Stoics' golden rule in moments of silence. Don't move until you know where you're going. Don't send a message until you've managed the emotion. Don't ask anything until you've regained centeredness. Don't speak if your intention is fear. Don't seek if you're fleeing from the void. Wait, breathe, contain, observe, remain. Epictetus would say, "First tame yourself, then speak." And very few men, in moments of detachment, know how to wait for calm. 10. Silence is the place where your value is seen. A woman observes you especially in the moments when she gives you nothing. It's easy to appear strong when she's present, attentive, affectionate. It's difficult to remain strong when she withdraws. In those moments, you show your true nature. The question she asks herself is, does this man remain a man even when I don't give him security? If the answer is no, she loses you. If the answer is yes, she draws closer. Marcus Aurelius would say, "The test of a man is in the storm, not in the calm." And feminine silence is that silent storm in which your stature is revealed. When a woman distances herself, you feel the emptiness. You feel the silence. You feel the detachment. And if you've worked hard on yourself, if you haven't chased, if you haven't begged, if you haven't reacted with panic, if you've maintained presence, strength, calm, emotional self-sufficiency, something surprising happens. She comes back, maybe slowly, maybe with a shy message, maybe with a question, maybe with a "how are you?" Maybe with a pretext, maybe with a light touch, maybe with feigned curiosity. But she comes back. Because a woman doesn't come back to a man who chases. She comes back to a man who holds on. And when she comes back, a very delicate phase begins. For many men, the most dangerous. Because as soon as she comes back, their energy suddenly changes. They release all the accumulated anxiety. They become emotional, they become reactive, they become talkative. They want to talk immediately. They want to understand immediately. They want clarity immediately. They want confirmation immediately. And so they ruin the return, because they transform a closeness into a pressure. The Stoic, on the other hand, knows something that other men don't. How you respond to her return determines everything that happens next. 1. Her return is not a reward. It's a test. Her return doesn't mean, "I want you." It's all settled. You're safe. Her return means only one thing. She wants to see who you are now. She wants to understand if your calm was real or artificial. You have truly changed or just been held back. You are stable or just held back by silence. You are a centered man or an anxious man. You have an internal axis or not. You are present or dependent. This is what she evaluates in his return. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not show what you are not, otherwise you will lose what you are." If you show her passion, need, anxiety, she understands that your previous calm was just masked fear, and she disappears again. 2. The first male mistake, exploding with enthusiasm. When she returns, the man feels immediate relief. And the relief becomes enthusiasm, and the enthusiasm becomes euphoria, and the euphoria becomes overly warm messages, immediate replies, long paragraphs, total openness, hyper-availability, words after words, excessive attention, emotions thrown at her. This crushes her, because male energy should be solid, calm, controlled, not explosive. Epictetus would say, What overflows loses shape. Overflowing male enthusiasm immediately causes a loss of attraction. 3. The second mistake, demanding explanations. This is the quickest way to erase all the work done. The man, as soon as she returns, immediately wants to talk about the separation. Why did you disappear? What happened? Are you angry with me? Why were you distant? Tell me now. The problem is that these questions are driven by fear, not leadership. And when a man seeks explanations while she has just returned, he tells her one thing: my balance depends on you. And she walks away again. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Wait for the truth to come by itself. The truth always comes, but not when you chase it." 4. The third mistake, making her return too easy. If she returns and finds the door open, the chair ready, the feelings scattered on the floor, total welcome. She doesn't have to do anything. She doesn't have to invest anything. She doesn't have to commit. She doesn't have to risk. She doesn't have to move towards you. And a woman doesn't tie herself down where she doesn't have to commit. One of the most destructive mistakes is to welcome her as if nothing had happened, without her perceiving that you now have a higher standard. Epictetus would say, "If you don't ask for respect, you won't be respected. The return must be possible, but not gratuitous." 5. The correct answer, calm welcome, not enthusiasm. When she returns, you must be like the sea that welcomes the boat returning, not like the dog that runs when its master returns. Your energy must be warm, composed, solid, present, calm, slow, centered. Not cold, not harsh, not distant, but balanced. A sentence like, "Hey, I'm here. Tell me, I'm here," is 100 times more powerful than emotional paragraphs. Marcus Aurelius would say, "Strength lies in simplicity, and you must show simple strength." 6. Don't ask for anything. Observe everything. When she returns, you must not question. You don't have to analyze. You don't have to look for answers. You don't have to investigate. You have to observe. Observe her tone, her language, her availability, her commitment, her interest, her involvement, her continuity, her respect, her effort. Her return shouldn't be rewarded. It should be evaluated. She's the one who must demonstrate with her actions that she wants to be in your life. Epictetus would say, "Look at what the other person does, not what they say. Observe, and that's it." 7. The psychological rule. Reconnect, but don't rebuild yourself. When she comes back, you can respond, converse, listen, welcome, be present. But you don't have to be the one to define who you are, rush to rebuild, have profound conversations, show impulsive fragility, seek confirmation, force intimacy. The reconstruction must start with her. You just have to be a man of value, and this value attracts her. Marcus Aurelius would say, "The sun doesn't chase, but everything revolves around it." You have to be the sun, not the satellite. 8. Maintain your frame. I'm here, but not at any cost. The frame is your value, your identity, your dignity, your energy, your presence. When she returns, she must perceive this implicit message. I'm happy to hear from you, but I didn't lose myself while you were gone. This stabilizes her. It reassures her. It intrigues her. It attracts her. It calms her. And it pushes her to invest more. Marcus Aurelius would say, "Stay in your place and others will find theirs." If you maintain the frame, she enters your frame. 9. The real goal? Make her feel that she has returned to a better man. When a woman returns and finds the same man as before, she feels nothing. She gets bored. She shuts down. She distances herself again. When a woman returns and finds a man who has deteriorated, she becomes disappointed. She detaches herself. She disconnects. But when she comes back and finds a man who is more centered, more solid, calmer, more present, more serene, more determined, more composed, then she opens up again. She approaches again. She relaxes. She rekindles. not because you've convinced her, but because you've changed. Marcus Aurelius would say, the best way to respond is to become better. The return doesn't have to be managed. It has to be embodied. 10. The final truth of the section. When she comes back, you don't have to do anything special. You simply have to be what a man should be. Calm, solid, present, non-reactive, non-needy, non-anxious, non-euphoric, non-invasive, non-confused, non-dispersive, centered, and above all, consistent. Marcus Aurelius would say, what is consistent is strong, and consistency, in the return, is what will make her stay. When a woman comes back after having distanced herself, most men get it wrong precisely at the decisive moment. The conversation. Not the silence, not the detachment, not the waiting. The conversation. Because it is through words that a man reveals his energy. It is through language that he shows whether he has learned something from the separation or whether he is just putting on an appearance of strength. The woman doesn't come back to talk. She comes back to observe how you speak, the way you respond, the pace you use, the types of questions you ask, the reactions you show, your level of calm, your composure. Everything reveals who you really are. Marcus Aurelius wrote, words reveal the mind. And you, at this stage, cannot afford to show a weak mind. 1. The first rule, speak less than you would like. When she returns, you feel relief, interest, curiosity, a desire to catch up, a desire to clarify, a desire to feel safe. And this creates a very strong impulse to talk too much, too soon, too intensely, too quickly. The result? You seem anxious, you seem grateful that she's back, you seem more involved than she is, you seem needy, you seem emotional, you seem reactive, and the attraction collapses. The Stoic uses a simple rule: speak 60% less than necessary, not to play games, not to manipulate, but because calm speaks louder than words. Solidity is transmitted through rhythm. Leadership is expressed through controlled silence. Epictetus would say, he who masters the rhythm masters the relationship. And it's true. 2. Short, clear, slow answers. A woman perceives your centeredness by the way you respond. Long answer, hidden anxiety. Immediate response, fear that you will escape. Over-enthusiastic response, emotional dependence. Emotional response, loss of polarity. The correct way? Short, clear, slow answers. Examples, of course. Okay, I understand. Tell me. I'm here. Go ahead. How are you? These are simple words, but very powerful, because they contain calm, control, balance, masculinity, confidence. Marcus Aurelius would say, strength does not linger, and women feel this strength. 3. Don't compensate for the past silence by talking too much now. Many men make this subtle mistake. During the breakup, they stay silent, perhaps forced to. When she returns, they talk like a raging river, trying to recover everything they've been holding back. The result? She senses that your calm wasn't real. It was just a buildup of fear that you're now releasing. You must understand one fundamental thing. Calm isn't about holding back emotions. It's not needing to free them. Epictetus would say, whoever is full overflows. Whoever is empty is free. You must be free, not overflowing. 4. No deep conversation until there is continuity. Men make a mistake here. One message from her and they're already talking about relationship emotions, future what happened. What they felt fears needs expectations. Colossal mistake. A woman who comes back is not ready for a deep conversation. Not yet. First, she wants to observe you, test your calm. See if you've learned something. See if you're stable. See if you've acquired value. See if your response is not anxious. Only then will she be ready to open up. Marcus Aurelius would say, don't rush what needs to mature. Stability first, then depth. 5. The energy you must convey in messages and words. She must perceive 4 fundamental elements. A. Calm presence, not enthusiasm. Not agitation, not coldness, calm. B. Silent security. You don't have to prove anything, you have to be. C. No pressure. She must feel free. Women return to where they feel free. D. Increased value. You are not the same man as before. Now you have discipline, self-control, self-awareness, growth, centeredness, dignity. And your conversation must reflect it. Epictetus would say, value is not declared, it radiates. You must radiate value, not proclaim it. 6. Absolutely avoid these phrases. They are typical phrases of anxious men, and women recognize them instantly. Why did you disappear? I missed you so much. I felt terrible without you. Don't do it again, please. I was afraid of losing you. Tell me everything is okay. You came back to me. So now you're here again? Can we talk about what happened? These are phrases. Heavy, reactive, infantile, needy, manipulative, anxious, and they immediately lower your value. Marcus Aurelius would say, if a word weakens you, don't say it. And these words weaken you and the attraction. 7. The right phrases to use instead. Simple, clean, neutral, masculine, stable. Examples. I'm here. Okay. Tell me. Calm down. I understand. How are you? Tell me. Everything's okay. Don't worry. Let's take it one step at a time. These phrases convey emotional leadership, calm, presence, maturity, self-control, confidence. Marcus Aurelius would say, simplicity is the highest form of strength. Be simple, be strong. 8. Rhythm is more important than words. Many men think, I have to say the right thing. No. Women don't react to content. They react to the energy beneath the content. And this energy depends on one element, rhythm. Rhythm means how long you wait before responding, how many words you use, how much space you leave, how slowly you formulate, how controlled your tone, how centered you appear. The male rhythm is slow, steady, composed. The anxious rhythm is quick, impulsive, inconstant. She can distinguish the two in a second. Epictetus would say, haste is a sign of weakness. Slow down, always. 9. The final rule. Speak like a man who is not afraid of losing her. You must not feign indifference. You must not act tough. You must not play games. You must not force silences. You must not ignore. You must be a man who is not afraid of detachment. A man who can love without depending. A man who can welcome without begging. A man who can speak without reacting. A man who can listen without losing himself. Marcus Aurelius would say, no one can take from you what you do not possess in a dependent way. If you do not depend, you do not fear. And if you do not fear, you speak like a man. 10. The final truth of the section. The right way to talk to her after she returns doesn't require technique. It requires identity. If you've worked on yourself, if you've regained your balance, if you've remained calm in detachment, if you've let your discipline replace your anxiety, then the right words will come naturally. If, on the other hand, you're still dominated by fear, the woman will sense it before even reading what you write. Marcus Aurelius would say, speak like the man you want to be, and gradually you will become it. When a woman returns after being away, she never returns pure. She never returns empty. She never returns as before. She returns with something in hand. Tests. They are subtle. They are invisible. They are spontaneous. Sometimes they seem harmless. Sometimes they seem casual. Sometimes they even seem affectionate. But they aren't. Every woman, consciously or unconsciously, will test a man when he returns. Why? Because she has a doubt. Just one. Is he really the man I want? And to get the answer, she doesn't look at what you say. Look at what you do. Don't look at the words. Look at the reaction. Don't look at the promises. Look at the behavior. Marcus Aurelius wrote, man reveals himself under pressure, and female tests are pure pressure. 1. Why women test when they come back. It's not cruelty. It's not manipulation. It's not a mind game. It's not malice. It's emotional protection. Her brain wants to know, are you still the same anxious man you were before? Have you really learned anything from detachment? Are you stable and calm? Have you gained value? Can you contain her when she's emotional? Are you a man or still a boy? Are you emotionally reliable? Can you maintain your frame? If she provokes you, do you disintegrate? If she confuses you, do you stay centered? If she challenges you, do you hold on? She tests because she wants security. Emotional, psychological, relational security. Epictetus would say, it's not the other who tests you, it's life that refines you. She's not attacking you. She's evaluating whether you can be the man of her life. 2. Tests arise from fear, not manipulation. It's important to understand this. When a woman tests, it's because she fears getting hurt again. She's not trying to humiliate you. She's trying to protect herself. The test is a disguised question. Can I really trust you this time? And the answer isn't in words, but in your stability. Marcus Aurelius would say, calm responds where words aren't needed. And tests are just that, requests for calm. 3. The most common tests when she comes back. Here are the tests that almost every woman uses. Read them carefully because they're always the same, just in different forms. Test 1. Sudden indifference. After the first contact, she suddenly responds less or gives you a cold message. She wants to see if you slip into anxiety. Test 2. The calculated micro-delay. She responds after a long time to see if you lose control. She wants to see if you panic. Test 3. The biting comment. A phrase like, "Oh, are you so calm now? You seem different. I wonder why. Do you not care anymore?" She wants to see if you justify yourself. Test 4. The little provocation, a joke, a dig, a half attack. It serves to see if you react or remain firm. Test 5. The emotional question. Are you angry with me? Did I hurt you? Did I hurt you that day? If you suddenly open up, she perceives you as fragile. Test 6. The availability test. What are you doing tonight? See you? Will it pass? She wants to see if you will drop everything for her or if you maintain priorities. Test 7. The reevaluation of your intentions. So, do you really care? And what do you want from me? If you respond emotionally, you fall. Test 8. The voluntary interruption of the conversation. She suddenly stops texting. She wants to see if you lose your balance. Test 9. Bringing up old mistakes. I didn't like it last time. I remember when you were like that. She wants to see if you defend yourself or stay centered. These tests aren't random. They are universal female patterns. Epictetus would say, know the tests and you will pass them, and now you know them. 4. The wrong way to respond to tests. Men react with explanations, justifications, anxiety, nervousness, emotionality, neediness, euphoria, weakness, irritation. And this ruins everything, because women don't look at what you answer, but how you do it. The reaction that makes you lose value is taking the test personally. When you feel attacked, you accuse. When you feel challenged, you defend yourself. When you feel provoked, you react. It's emotional immaturity. Marcus Aurelius would say, offense exists only if you accept it. The test isn't offense, it's opportunity. 5. The correct Stoic way to answer tests. Stoic behavior is made up of 5 elements. A. Don't react, neither in tone, nor in rhythm, nor in the quantity of words. B. Keep calm. Calm is seductive. Calm is strength. Calm is masculine power. C. Answer simply. A short sentence, neutral, composed, serene. D. Don't take the test personally. Understand that it's not about you. It's about his fear. E. Maintain the masculine frame. Don't chase. Don't justify yourself. Don't explain yourself. Epictetus would say, don't respond to impulse, respond to reason. And reason says, there's no point in reacting. 6. Practical examples of Stoic responses to tests. Let's look at them one by one. Test, indifference, her. Okay. You. Fine. Test, cold response, her. Whatever. You. Perfect. Test, provocation. Her. You were more into it before. You. I understand. Test, annoying on junk. Her. Oh, now you're acting distant. You. I'm fine like this. Test, emotional question, her. But don't you care? You. I'm here. Test, disappears again, you. Zero panic, zero messages, zero insecurity. Get on with your life. She'll be back. Test, old mistakes, her. That time you made me feel bad? You. I understand. How do you feel now? Notice the dynamic. No reactivity, no rush, no defense. Just calm. Marcus Aurelius would say, quiet conquers tumult, and you need to be calm. 7. Why tests dissolve when you remain firm. A woman stops testing when she understands 3 things. 1. You are emotionally stable. You don't let yourself be shaken. 2. You are not afraid of losing her. Security is magnetic. 3. You are a man with a full life. Your identity does not depend on her. When she perceives this, the tests disappear. Because tests only serve to measure your psychological value. If you are solid, there is no longer any need to test you. Epictetus would say, strength is not tested, it is shown. Have you shown your strength? She stops testing you. 8. The real secret. Don't play, embody. Tests are not passed with artificial strategies. They don't work. Forced silences, recited answers, coldness, fake masculinity, theatrical communication tricks. Only one thing works. Be truly centered. Be truly calm. Be truly confident. Be truly present. Be truly in control. Be truly free. Be truly a man. Marcus Aurelius would say, don't imitate the wise, become the wise. You don't have to act like a Stoic. You have to become one. 9. The final truth of the section. Female tests are not traps, and they are not insults. They are a woman's natural way of understanding whether she has in front of her a man who can lead the relationship or a man who drags her into his anxiety. When you respond to the tests with stability, calm, simplicity, solidity, security, centeredness, you not only pass the tests, but you rise in value. You become an emotional point of reference. You become a rare man. You become irresistible. Marcus Aurelius would say, the strong man wins without fighting. And passing the tests is precisely this, winning without fighting.